But yeah, the predator showed up early, and me, Skeeter Jean, and a security guard who's wearing a big shirt that says security on it. The predator saw that through the window and was texting. It was like, hey, I saw like security inside. You're not real. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that was. Like, I'm real. And he still came inside. Like, these guys wanted to be real so badly that they'll push through whatever they saw. He was trying to tell me like I have ghosts and shit. And so crazy.
How can this person see a man walking around a living room, whatever fucking room it was, and see security in big ass letters on his shirt and be like, yo, I saw this shirt, and you're like, oh, I don't know what it was, or like, oh, don't worry about it, and they still go, oh, that right there, deserve it. They deserve it.
It's time for the Garage Boozing Podcast.
What's up, nerds? And welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. I'm your host, the man with absolutely no plan, the Chase with the face for radio, Chase Shurga. And boy, do I have one hell of an episode for you guys today. I am joined by online predator catcher CourtneyElizxbeth, and man, she tells us all about how she got started, why she catches, her craziest experiences, and so much more. So without further ado, folks, you know what time it is. It's time to sit back, relax, kick your feet up, and crack open a cold one, because this week's episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast starts now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. Today, I am joined by one very special guest. We have online predator catcher CourtneyElizxbeth. Courtney, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for coming. I've been wanting to get you on for so long, and I remember I was supposed to have you back on a couple months ago, and then both our schedules got a little mixed up, but thank you for finally getting back to me and coming to the garage. Well, kind of, but virtually.
It's awesome being here. Yeah, of course.
So my first question here for you is, for those people that don't know you, can you tell me a little bit about what you do and why you do it?
Yeah, I run a YouTube channel. I just use my name, CourtneyElizxbeth, and I pretty much just expose online predators, men and women who are trying to meet up with children online. I started doing it about a year and 10 months ago, so almost 2 years ago. And how I got into it, though, was I used to be, even when I was a minor myself, like 14 and 15, I would watch To Catch a Predator.
You're answering like my first 4 questions all in one. I love it. I love it. No, keep going. It's great.
I would just watch. I would binge that stuff on YouTube, and then eventually I saw like a channel called Anxiety War. It was just like a citizen that was doing what Chris Hansen does essentially, and I thought what he was doing was great for his community. He was the first person I ever saw aside from Chris Hansen, and I wanted to try it out. I think I was too scared at the time, you know. Back then I was a petite little thing. It took about 2 years for me to finally work up the courage to do it. And essentially it just started out as like a social experiment. I wanted to see how easy it was to get one of these guys. And the first night that I did it, I got somebody really soon after. I had someone on the line, but I didn't want to go alone. And then I just formed a small team and caught him, and ever since then at first I just felt obligated not to stop. I was like, this is so easy, but now I've quite literally made it my whole life. So yeah.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. So you pretty much do like, so obviously I've had DAP on here before and stuff, great guys. All of the like online predator catchers and stuff basically do like the same thing, right? Where they make like a fake account or something, right? And then like, yeah, actually, so explain your process, okay? So like
so we're like hooked up on like Tinder, Grindr, Whisper, Badoo, Zoe, every
heard
app
of these.
Yeah, there's an app called Bagel Meets Coffee, which I just heard of. Some catchers use that. I don't yet. And we just to make
Bagel Meets Coffee.
Yeah. To make a profile, you have to say that you're 18 on it. So on our profile, we put 18, or we put don't show age. And then as soon as they hit us up, which we never reach out first, if they hit me up, I say I'm about to be 8 or 12 or 14, whatever.
Yeah. So not to interrupt you, but if you were the one to reach out first, then they could be like you were fishing kind of, right?
Yeah, entrapment in a way. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, entrapment. That's what I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. So we never reach out first. So last night I actually Ubered somebody 2 hours to get them. I was doing it for my friend. He's an MMA fighter, Dustin Lampros. He started doing this. Yeah. And so I Ubered a predator 2 hours to him so he could confront him. And it was I was like, no other catcher would do this shit. Like, this shit is crazy what I do. Like, these predators are crazy, but I'm just way crazier. I do some
did you pay for the Uber for the person?
Yeah.
How does that work? Like, how do you even like offer to, how do you get to the point where you offer? So like this person thinks you're underage, but yet you're paying for their Uber?
Yeah. You know, when I was talking to him, they're like, that's so dumb. What are you going to say? You stole your dad's credit card? And I was like, yeah, they'll believe it. So
those guys are horny for anything. They probably do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He brought like lace to blunts and stuff. Like he was going to like drug the kids. Yeah. He got arrested. So that's good.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So how old are you?
I just turned 25. So
damn. So you're pretty young doing this stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm 29, so you're younger than me. I'm gonna be 30 this year. Sore subject. Don't want to talk about it. But
yeah.
So you said, wait, you just turned 25?
Yeah, on March 13th.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
So back to like how you first got started and everything. Like I was a big Chris Hansen fan my entire life. I used to watch To Catch a Predator with my dad, and like we used to love like seeing all these creeps get caught and stuff. What a good feeling at the end. Mm-hmm. And his approach is always so funny. Why don't you take a seat right over here? So funny.
I know. He's such a badass too.
Such a badass dude. Like that guy's got some balls. But so like when you first got started and everything, and like how did you like even think to like, do you remember like the first account that you made when you first got started and caught that? You said you caught them very fast. So like what social media thing was it? Like Tinder, Bumble?
It was an app called Scout. I don't know if you ever heard of it. I learned that from watching, I think Anxiety War. And I just went on Scout and it was like, boom, 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 like nonstop. So many, it was overwhelming. And it was my first time ever decoying. And so I was on Scout, and I still use the same decoy name that I used my very first time almost 2 years ago, and same pictures and everything. And they always come. It's crazy. So
like what, so this fake profile, like, do you just get the pictures off like Google or something?
Oh yeah, I actually I use photos of myself from when I was actually younger, or or I face apped them to look like a child. So
damn. Okay, so do you remember like what the first how your first conversation went? Like
yeah, you know, it's not so different. It's really easy to remember because they all always say the same shit. So it was, you know, they hit me up and immediately I don't even try to be like sly about it. I'm just like, hey, I'm 13. Is that okay? And they're just, you know, I'm just like so fed up. Yeah. So, and they're like, yeah, that's fine, baby. You got a number or stuff like that. This, the first guy that I caught, he actually went to high school with my mom. And, yeah, she didn't know I was doing this, and I didn't tell her because, you know, she'd be worried.
You'd freak out. Yeah.
Yeah. She saw it and she's like, oh my God, I went to high school with that guy. So that was interesting.
How scared were you like the first time you actually like went to go meet the person?
Yeah, I brought a knife on me. Now I don't. I'm just so used to it now. But
you don't bring protection on you at all?
Not anymore. I don't bring pepper spray or anything.
So if you get attacked, you just got to fight for yourself.
Yeah, I've done it.
Fucking savage. Oh, we're getting to that. But okay, so you got wicked scared. Or you?
Yeah, I didn't know what to expect at all. And I was just waiting for him at the park. And I was with my camera person, and he was a ways away. And, you know, the predators, his name was Kevin, the first guy I ever caught. He's like, yeah, I'm like 30 minutes away. He just like walks up like 2 minutes later. So I was new to this, and I was like, whoa, you know, that's a really common tactic that they do. Yeah, that's a really common tactic that they do. They lie and say they're far away when they're not. They're scoping out the place. So he walks up to me, and then I was like live decoying, and then I broke cover, and then he just like took off. So I was chasing him. I had a knife in my pocket that was stabbing me, like really little, you know, but it was like hurting my thigh. And yeah, the first catch I did was actually intense. I went to his house, I followed him home, and I was knocking on his door. So yeah, I don't know. I've always been kind of like, every catch that I do, I'm like, we have him, like at this point, we got to like go all in. Like we know the risks that we're taking. So it's like we came this far, like we have to go all in if we don't get him to stay and talk. Like we're going to his house, you know?
So your first time you had like steel balls that didn't even care and just went to his house.
Oh, trust me, my heart was palpitating so bad. I was a wreck on the inside, but on the outside, you know, I kept like calm. But yeah, I was so scared.
You probably had some adrenaline too helping you out.
Yeah, definitely.
So what was the result of your first catch?
Yeah, we contacted PD. PD didn't do anything. He was a registered sex offender. And another crazy twist, he was the stepdad of one of my sister's friends. So crazy. My first catch. Yeah, it's so crazy. So
like, it's okay if you don't want to answer this question, but I'm gonna ask anyway. In a situation like that, like where he's the stepdad of one of your sister's friends, like does your sister's friend get mad, or was she like, okay?
Yeah, she got mad.
That's okay to ask?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You know, I've lost people that were in my life because of this, which is really sus. So it's like,
that's sad.
It's sus.
Yeah.
Really. But yeah, she got mad at my sister, and my sister's like, I didn't even know Courtney was doing this. Like, chill out. But yeah, so she doesn't talk to my sister or me or anything.
Imagine that. I'd be like, thank you for outing my stepdad who's like married to my mother. Well, I imagine that's like, yeah. Yeah,
and he would like wear her panties and send the alleged 13-year-old girl a picture of him in my sister's friend's panties. So crazy. These guys are crazy.
There's so many creeps on the internet. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you said you've been at it for what, like a year and 10 months?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I remember you said like the first time you decoy, are you your own decoy?
Yeah.
Every time?
I would say 98% of the time. I do have like T-Coy the Decoy. She has like a smaller channel on YouTube. She helps me out sometimes, but yeah, it's just like me. When I do collabs though, it's like me and Jay a couple of weekends ago, we were both on Grindr, and he used the name Little J and I used the name Little Courtney, and we just used our real names and our photos, and we got 3 people in one day. So when I collab with someone, they decoy too, but yeah, like 98% of the time it's just me.
Back to Jay. I love Jay. What a homie. He's such a cool dude. I love
him too. Yeah. I met him in September of last year, but I never like got to work with him until recently. He's like, hey, no catcher has ever done a catch in Milwaukee. You want to do one? And I was just like, no, because it's
in Milwaukee.
not safe. Yeah. So we did some. It was good.
That's awesome. So have you met Josh too?
Yeah, I met Josh in September too. I didn't get to work with them. We were supposed to, but we were just decoying and it got too late and they left, which is understandable. So that's why I collabed with just Skeeter Gene, because he was there too. But Jay and Josh ended up leaving because we couldn't get anyone for a while.
Skeeter's a badass too. I love his new edits to his videos too. They're so good.
Yeah, he's so awesome. He's quite literally the Chris Hansen impersonator.
Yeah, I know. And it's so good. It's so good. It's awesome. Do you know off the top of your head how many catches you have now, or did you lose count?
Yeah, I often lose count, but my cameraman keeps track. So I think I have like 62 or 63.
Wow, a year and 10 months. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I feel like every person who does this online and like the catches and stuff, like there's probably some catches you have that you don't air, right? Or do you air them all? You're just like,
I used to air them all, but YouTube has been really
they're cracking down like crazy. It's fucked up. It's weird.
Yeah. I've had over 20 videos removed. So, and I got my first sponsor, and I tried posting my latest catch with Jay on YouTube with my sponsorship in it. But when it was unlisted, it got flagged and I got a strike. So I'm like, no, what do? I just signed a contract with this sponsor, and like now I'm too afraid to post another catch. So it's terrible.
Well, I see everything's going to like Rumble and locals and stuff now, right?
Yeah.
to the YouTube thing, it's so strange to me because like, why would YouTube have a problem with you like catching these literally like pedophile, whatever you want to call them, online predators? Do you have a certain name for them? Because I know Jay one time spit out pedophile and just stuck.
Yeah, he always says that. I just call them predators, or pedophile.
Yeah. Right. And it's crazy because like if you post something on like TikTok, because I remember the first time that I posted on my TikTok channel, a little snippet of my podcast with Josh and Jay, Dads Against Predators. And I had in like the font on the video, it said predators. It got flagged. So I had to change it like PR3DO. Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy. Like, why is YouTube protecting these people that like?
I think YouTube, I'm not sure, categorizes these men as like a certain type of individuals. So like, I know it started in August of last year. They were just like only catchers, because we're friends with other like influencers and stuff who make different genres of content. They did not receive this email, and all of us catchers are in a group chat, and we all received this email. Only catchers that if you now like pretty much post catches, it's going to be flagged for bullying and harassment. So a lot of us have found a way to like work around it a little bit, adding monologues, doing documentary style like Skeeter Jean. But yeah, I ran out of luck, but I'm on a.
That got ruined on YouTube.
I know.
They literally got destroyed. And right at their peak, too, they got the whole like Vice thing. And then bam, like all their shit. I feel so bad for those dudes, because they had to like literally work from the ground up. But I will say what you were saying about Skeeter, like his editing, like I don't know how, like it's like perfect because it like never comes off YouTube now.
I know. And he edits himself, too. He's so good.
He does it himself?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
I know.
I love his old school. I don't know if he still does it because I haven't seen like his past couple of videos, but like my favorite thing that he does at the end, like after the person runs away or whatever, he's like, all right, let's go get drunk.
Yeah.
So funny. Drunk. But yeah, I just saw that speaking of DAP, I just saw that their channel like had the chance to get remonetized on YouTube or something like that. I don't know. I wish them the best. They're great guys.
They are. They're such great people, and they have families,
Yeah.
And we're not, everyone already knows we made pretty decent money on YouTube before we were all demonetized. And, but like, we all started this for free. We never expected to make money. Like, let's get that out of the way. But, it helps. Like, it helps. That
of course, like if you get the chance, who's going to say no?
Yeah. And like, we can travel and get like anyone that hits up our accounts now rather than just staying local. So they actually did get remonetized, but it sucks because it's like the moment that they post a catch, they're getting booted off. So it's really tricky. Yeah.
Oh, it's just so, I don't know. It's weird. I guess oh, what'd you say?
YouTube has changed a lot since
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so like I started making YouTube videos with my best friend, like back in like 2008 when YouTube was like on the boom, and we'd do like funny skits and stuff. YouTube was so cool back then because you could say anything, do anything, and like nobody cared. Mm-hmm. And then like as the years went on, eventually we got demonetized because we set us up a couple of things we shouldn't have. It was 2010. Like the world's a lot different now. Sure. Whatever. Oh, yeah. But, so we took a YouTube break, and then I eventually like started making my podcast. So I revamped the whole YouTube channel to this. But like, yeah, YouTube's definitely changed a lot. Like if I was working at YouTube, I'd be like, yeah, I love these guys. Like, yeah, go get them. But like how they're all so against you. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane. I think it's because everyone's sensitive now. I don't know.
The world's gotten very sensitive too. Yeah. I was trying to lead to that, but I was like, yeah, do I say it? But you said it. So like, I'm like, yeah, world's sensitive as hell. Everyone's so soft.
Yeah. Everyone is. Yeah. So.
Well, yeah, because people are worried about, well, if you put this guy on the internet who's trying to fuck a 13-year-old, oh, how does he feel? Oh, let's care about his feelings. I don't give a fuck about his feelings.
Exactly. I don't understand people that defend that behavior. Or when they're saying, every catcher has gotten comments like this. You guys were too hard on him. Why does it matter? Why do you care about that?
Of course. Like, it's not like you're running up to him and like shooting him in the face. Like that's one thing, like you're embarrassing the fuck out of him online. Yeah. Clearly he or she, I should say, whoever the fuck it is, they should be extremely embarrassed. So I think embarrassment is the best form of punishment, especially for something like that.
And sometimes, go on.
No, you first.
Sometimes the families get involved, and like I've been with editors and stuff who were like, should we put the wife's reaction in? This was pretty harsh. And I'm like, it's really sad to hear, but I want all of that like brutality to be out there because I want not to embarrass the wife, but I want people to really see how it affects like their whole family, you know?
Of course.
Like, their decision. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I think embarrassment is the best form of punishment. Like, I mean, well, then again, like I think going to jail, especially for a lot of these people, is awesome too. But like, embarrassment's great.
It's the next best thing. Sometimes they don't go to jail, you know? So
Right. I feel like would you say a majority of your catches get arrested or a majority like walk away?
they walk away.
Yeah, right. So embarrassment's great.
Yeah, I caught a registered sex offender yesterday in Minnesota. Drove 10 hours. That was what I was doing all day, was driving and spending my whole day with registered sex offenders. And the cops were challenging me and my motives and didn't even question the sex offender. So he's free, you know? So exposure really is the next best thing. A lot of viewers are like, oh, call the cops, they'll arrest them. No, sometimes they don't. It really depends on the DA and the county that you're in. Every county works different. So
You probably deal with a lot of cops too that like were doing nothing all day and get really annoyed that you called them. And that's not a dig on the police. Like I love what the police do, just saying, so people don't yell at me. But there are cops out there where like if you're bothering them, they're not doing anything. They just want to like shut the situation down quick and continue on with their day.
Oh yeah. I've dealt with fantastic cops, cops that went and detectives that went above and beyond. I've spent hours in police stations. I've been in predators' houses while detectives were searching the houses for child porn, and they kept me in the house with that family that was really pissed off with me. And then I've also dealt with police that give me citations, that take me in for questioning, just for catching. So, you know, you really do deal with a lot. I know the county that I live in, they told me if I ever catch here again that they're going to arrest me themselves. I still catch here, but I just
On
don't.
what charge? Like what?
I don't know. Yeah. They really hate us.
It's wild to me. So you said you've got like a couple citations. What are they citating you for? For what?
They don't even know either. So they just put it as
Of course not.
Yeah, they're just like, oh, disorderly conduct. And yeah, so but it's so funny
Like
because
never sticks.
no, it doesn't. So
Jeez.
it's just annoying though, you know, going to court every month.
Yeah, but
for
at the end of the day, it's
doing
great what you guys do. So like it's got to be worth it.
It is. It is.
So what would you say is like the funniest thing that's happened on a catch of yours?
I got into an argument. It's not on YouTube yet. I got into an argument with, so I was confronting a predator in front of his family.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, I got into an argument with his mom. She was the IQs in that household were very low. Let me just say that. And so I was confronting him, and she's just like, the mom steps in and was like, I said, when I go to people's houses, I say it's my daughter or sister, so that they're like, they take it more serious rather than a sting operation, because they might not let me inside then. So the mother was like, well, your daughter's the victim too. It's not just my son. And she didn't know what the word victim meant clearly. So I got into an argument with her, and I was like, yes, my daughter is the victim, but your son's not the victim. And she's like, no, your daughter is the only victim here. And I was like, yeah, thanks for agreeing with me. And then she's like, well, I don't see why you're coming at my son. And I was just like, oh my God, she doesn't know what the word victim means. And yeah.
Like, did you explain the age difference? Like, hello,
Yeah.
This is the problem.
She thinks that victim means like bad person. It's so weird. And then another one, there was this guy I caught named Joe. It kind of went viral when I first started YouTube. That's kind of how I got my following. I asked him if he had a wife that he could call, and he's like, no, I have a coworker though. So I can see why people think this shit is fake. I was telling him to do so much shit, and he would just listen to me. And so he calls his coworker, and then his coworker's like, does your wife know? And he's like, no, my wife doesn't know. And I was like, hang up on your coworker and call your wife. And he did. And I was like, why is he listening to me?
He was probably so scared. He's like, don't call the cops.
Yeah. So it was, I don't know. They're funny in person. That shit's funny.
Oh, I can believe it. All right. So finish your story, because I kind of cut you off there for people that don't know. So he called his wife, and what happened?
He called his wife, and then she started crying. She said that this shit happens a lot. He's been cheating on her for 10 years. And then he said, okay, I love you, babe. Bye. And then she's like, really? And I was was like, listen, I felt bad for her, but I don't anymore because she's still with him and they took me to court. So
We're still together?
yeah. Yeah.
She didn't leave?
No.
Dude,
No
I don't care how
self-esteem.
much I love somebody, but like if my girl got caught like trying to fuck a 13-year-old boy, I'd be like, yo, I gotta better myself and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. No, same. I would never stay with someone who was, yeah.
I guess some people just have like a really low self-esteem and that's all they know. And that's sad. Like for that person, I feel bad that they feel like they're trapped with that person. But at the same time, like you said, like if she's staying with him after that, like I almost don't feel bad.
Yeah, not anymore. You know, she said she was putting up with the cheating for 10 years, then cheating
For
with,
10 years, what the fuck you doing, girl?
I know. It's like you're doing it to yourself. And then this guy's a huge piece of work because now he's cheating with a minor and she's still with him, defending him.
Defending him. No, you didn't do it. He's only been doing it for 10 years.
She ended up defending him. Yeah. It was like not in that video, but like as like a year went on, you know, she was just that whole family is down my throat
So
still.
is the court case over? Like, are you?
Yeah,
allowed?
I won.
Of course. I was gonna say you could talk about it, right? You won. Like,
Yeah, I represented myself and Joe, his name was,
damn.
he hired a lawyer to talk for him. So it was Joe was sitting next to me. His lawyer was on Zoom. I was there representing myself and I won against his lawyer and the judge told me I did a great job representing myself. And I
You
was
probably
like,
had all the proof anyway.
oh, I had so many exhibits. Like I really went full lawyer with that shit.
Did that feel? That probably felt kind of cool.
It did. For someone like me, you know, I was like, I'm just like a little weird girl. So it was like, I felt super badass.
That's so cool. I feel like I'd be nervous. Were you nervous? Like,
I was until I got there and I saw Joe and I was like, I got to do whatever I got to do to take him down. Like all the nerves went away. It was just like pure annoyance, I guess. And like, this is just a waste of the judge's time, my time, you know? So I had to drive like 4 hours for it. So yeah.
see, yeah, okay, I'll agree with that because it's not like you were just in like court for like a traffic ticket. You were there to like get somebody down. So like,
I was there to just, yeah, he took me to court for harassment and got a restraining order against
fuck
me.
you, dude.
Yeah, I was like, listen, he did that to get the video removed. I was like, Judge, I've never talked to this man since I caught him. Like, this is just a waste of my time. Yeah, I was not nervous. I was just like, I want to get it done with. And I had like so much proof that. And then his lawyer was like, on Instagram, you post, the only evidence that they had against me was my Instagram posts. But I'm like, how is that me contacting his family, harassing them? It's not, you know, I can't control what my followers do. So I won.
True that.
Yeah.
So, all right. So that was like two of the funniest things. What would you say is the scariest thing that's ever happened on a catch?
I got dragged by a car.
Dragged by a car?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I did see that, but like I never actually saw the full video. But I mean, for people that don't know, tell me about it.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, like I was saying earlier, it's like I got this guy out of the car. So it's like I had him and I felt like we got so far. So he took off running back to his car after he got out of the car. So
Did you guys meet at the car?
Yeah, we met at the car and I actually got in the car. He told me to when he thought I was a kid. And then I broke cover in the car and put my camera up to him and I told him to get out of the car and he did. And then we were walking and then he just took off, like ran to his car. So I got in his car because he invited me in his car before.
You just ran and jumped in.
Yeah. And then
Animal.
I know he pushed me out of the car and I was holding on to his door while he was driving. And I have a really gnarly scar on my leg now, but it's pretty much healed.
So I remember when I saw the video, it said like too graphic for YouTube or whatever. So like you actually had it on camera, like you like dragging and like eventually you got to let go, right?
Yeah, I let go. I just at that point I didn't really know what I was doing. I was like, I gotta let go of the car, but I don't even know what I was doing. I don't know what I was doing at that point.
That's scary as hell.
Yeah, that was definitely the scariest catch. It was my fault though. I shouldn't have done that.
So. I mean, the adrenaline was rushing through you. So he said before, hey, come in the car. So yeah, why not go back in the car while he's running away? He's not going to drive, right?
I didn't think he would, you know. I'm more cautious now these days. When I was with Jay, though, this predator kind of shoved the door on me. Like he opened up the door and like shoved it on me. And Jay took after him and kind of beat his ass. And that was kind of funny to watch.
I love Jay. Of course he did. Yeah, why wouldn't he?
It was kind of funny to watch in real life, you know?
Oh, I bet it was so cool. I remember one of the first videos I ever saw of Dap is how I found him was actually on Reddit. I was on some Reddit group and someone posted a leak of the video of Jay fighting that dude in like the parking garage. When when the guy's like, I'm just here for a fight.
Yeah, bullshit.
Yeah, right. Fuck you. No, you weren't. And they got in the fight and I was like, whoa, this is mad cool. Who are these people? So then I found him on YouTube. But yeah, like what a savage. He's just like, fuck it. He's going to fight the guy anyway.
It was nice that he defended me. Usually it's me that has to do that against myself.
Oh yeah, that was mad cool. Good for him. Class act. So have you ever been attacked or like, was that like the time you were attacked, like was with the door or other than that, you've been attacked?
I wouldn't even call that attacked. I don't think I've ever really been attacked. The dragging the car thing, that was my fault though. I've been lunged at a few times, but that's it, you know.
What do you do in that situation? Dodge it? Like
yeah.
yeah. They come at me like
yeah. I've been hit before on the arm and it made me like break my phone. And then I went after the guy and started beating his ass. So
you fought back.
Yeah, but I got charged for that. But I don't always, it's not what it sounds like. It really isn't. There's only been literally a handful of times out of all of the catches that I've done where it's gotten violent. So yeah, it's not all vigilante, I promise. It's
sure,
very professional.
You got to defend yourself too in a situation like that.
Yeah, you do. But I would say like 95% of the time I keep it very professional. And, the goal is to get a confession on camera, get them comfortable with you. You want to make them feel comfortable so that they open up to you and start telling you the truth, which happens a lot. So, but those were just
crazy. That's like one of my favorite things to see too, is like, first it's like a confrontation. This person's like in attack mode and then they come back and they're just like chill, they're comfortable. And then the cops come. It's the best.
It is so, yeah, it's so satisfying too. So,
oh my God, because they're like feeling good. They're finally talking to somebody and then boom. Oh, buddy, you're in trouble.
Yeah, someone's calling the cops secretly. It's awesome.
Amazing. But yeah, totally. Like I love this content on YouTube. Of course, I'm never expecting to see a fight or anything like that. But I mean, if it happens, if they provoke it or something happens, like it's cool to see. But like my main goal as a viewer is just because like I love seeing these people get in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
It's the best thing to see. Like back how we were talking about Chris Hansen before, my favorite thing would be like when he's like, all right, you're free to walk out the front door. And people who haven't seen the show are just like, oh, thank God. And they walk out and the police get on the ground. And then the other best thing is when the people who know what's happening are like creeping out the door. They're like, oh, here it comes. Here it comes. They open up the door, get on the ground. Okay.
Yeah. Or the people that try staying in the house longer, knowing
because they know what's happening.
Yeah. So funny.
You ever see the one To Catch a Predator where the guy brings a whole pizza and like the first thing he says to Chris Hansen, he's like, you want a slice? Like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing?
And then he ends up eating a slice, not Chris Hansen, but the Predator. He ends up eating.
Dude. How's he even hungry? Like if I was him, I'd be like throwing up. Like, what are you doing?
Like my nerves would be so bad. I'm like, shit.
What are you doing?
Yeah. How is he even hungry? Yeah.
That's how you know they're fucked up because they don't even care. They're just like, oh, I don't know.
Trying to play it cool. Yeah. I was in Ohio and a predator showed up a little too early and it was dark outside. So the lights were on inside and so like anyone could see inside. But yeah, the predator showed up early and me, Skeeter Jane, and a security guard who's wearing a big shirt that says security on it. The predator saw that through the window and was texting. It was like, hey, I saw like security inside. You're not real. And I was like, oh, I don't know what that was. Like, I'm real. And he still came inside. Like these guys wanted to be real so badly that they'll push through whatever they saw. He was trying to tell me like I have ghosts and shit. And so crazy.
How can this person see a man walking around a living room, whatever fucking room it was, and see security in big ass letters on his shirt and be like, yo, I saw this shirt. And you're like, oh, I don't know what it was. Or like, oh, don't worry about it. And they still go, oh, that right there. Deserve it. They deserve it.
Wait, maybe that was my funniest moment. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's hilarious.
I don't know.
How
Yeah.
dumb do you have to be? Holy crap.
They want it to be real so badly. So
I bet you meet some creeps.
yeah, that's all I do. I spend all my free time with pedophiles,
I spend all my free time with pedophiles. Kudos to you. Cause like I've always like thought about doing something like this because I love the content on YouTube and stuff, but I don't have the balls for it. So I'm glad you do.
Oh, thank you.
So I've asked you like the funniest, the scariest, like, is there a creepiest or is that one of the other categories?
Yeah, we have this guy who is trying to kidnap this girl. He drove 8 hours for her, 4 hours one way, 4 hours back. And he spent 12 years in prison prior for first-degree sexual assault. So like premeditated sexual assault. And yeah, he drove 8 hours to essentially kidnap her.
So like what happened when he got there?
He said that he came here for a pizza shop, and we were like in a football field, and I was like, does it look like there's a pizza shop here? And cops came, they didn't arrest him. And
why would they? Right? Like, why would they?
Yeah. So it was very creepy.
That's a long way to drive.
Yeah. He had a long drive back.
Yeah, right. He's probably so happy he didn't get arrested, though. He's probably thinking, having the time of his life on the way home.
I know. It sucks.
It is sad that, like, you guys don't have more support. Like, you deserve it. Like, you literally put your lives on the line. Like, realistically, you do.
Mm-hmm. It is unfortunate, but I think a lot of, like, people on the outside don't really see how much effort goes into this. Like, the confrontation is, like, the shortest and quickest part. Like, so much actually goes into this, so.
Oh, yeah. And like, I remember before when I watched YouTube videos and stuff, like you used to be able to post like the chats and stuff like that. Now you like can't do that, right?
No.
That's so crazy. Like you expose somebody for being like a weirdo and then like you're the bad person here for exposing them.
It really does suck. It's bad. Yeah. It's hard. Like YouTube has changed a lot.
Yeah. So like, and like, I mean, I have to assume like Rumble and locals and stuff, like you're not getting the like traction you were on like YouTube, right? Like
no,
probably not even close.
No. I am lucky enough though. I do work for, I do have my own show now on Trilogy Plus. It's like a streaming service like on Apple TV and stuff like that. So I am lucky enough to have that. But I would still like to continue growing on YouTube because exposure is everything. So yeah.
Sure. So back to your show on Trilogy Plus. You want to tell me about that?
Yeah, I just I have 2 or 3 episodes a month on there, and that's pretty much where I've been posting all my stuff or sending them all my stuff so that they can edit it how they want and get it up there for my show. It's called Caught in the Web. Yeah. It's called Caught in the Web with CourtneyElizxbeth. And I feel really blessed to have that. So that's what I'm focusing on. Yeah, that's like my main focus is right now. And then YouTube is like secondary. So
yeah, because YouTube sucks now.
Careful.
So like what's your game plan for 2023 and where do you see yourself at the end of the year?
I want to have at least 100 catches before the year's over. I think that's really doable. And I have, I think, 17 arrests now. I want to get at least a lot more. I want
stars.
Yeah, I really want to go out like this year, like with a bang. I really want to do the best that I've ever done and just keep improving in all ways. So
love it. All right. Well, I mean, I'm out of questions, so I think that's all the time we have here today. But Courtney, thank you so much for joining me on this episode of the Garage Boozing Podcast. You were awesome. Thank you for letting me pick your brain.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, for sure. And I mean, I was actually talking to Josh and Jade the other day. They couldn't make it. I was going to try to surprise you and actually have them added onto this episode.
Oh, that'd be dope.
But I know, but the schedules didn't line up. So I said, well, in the future, we can have all 3 of you. I think it'd be a hell of an episode.
That would be really good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So thank you so much for joining me. And we'll see you nerds next week.
All right. See ya. Bye.
All right. See you. Bye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, nerds. Please don't forget the #1 way to support the brand. Buy some merch. We've got hats, hoodies, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and it's all available to you at www.garageboozing.net/shop. And don't forget to follow on all your favorite social media accounts as well as YouTube at Garage Boozing. And of course, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe, whatever the button may be, to the Garage Boozing Podcast on your favorite podcast platforms so you can be notified as soon as a new episode is released.
Ladies, gentlemen, and nerds. Do you have what it takes to be a guest on the fastest growing, alcohol chugging, and nonsense talking podcast? Well, now is your chance. The Garage Boozing Podcast has new guests every week, and you could be one of them. Just simply log on to www.garageboozing.net, click the Be on the Show tab, and submit your information. It's that simple. Join the boozement, or be a loser. Don't miss your chance, because we're taking this to the moon.